Yeah, I don't mind that check from Besim. 10 on the river. Doesn't help anyone. Tobias with the check mark.
Besim both to put the money in, which is also još jednom snimaju. Keš.
Ovo gleda vjerovatno screen tamo. Turnić, nema keša.
Nemoguće da igra ovdje taj turnir.
Ovdje?
Ovdje, da. Ovaj drug mi piše sad, kaže, za drugim stolom i kaže ovdje igra kao nešto. Za drugim stolom.
Gleda na internetu.
Tako mi piše, odakle znam.
Ako su socijalizacije da igraju na onaj stream gore. Ako je završio turnir nije završio. Nema. Možda mnogi, ja sam vidio igra. Možda mnogi napisao da je u igri. Nije Aleks.
Back in time for the boots. Raised by Tomovic, I see. Hanna calls. Free bet. Solid fold. Ace 4 suited. Tomovic should get out the way here. He folded Queen Jack, which I think I'd rather have Queen Jack than King Queen. And there's been a 3 bet. Benny Ninja, you're in. Tomovic has called. We know Scotty's calling. It's a dead cert. Queen high with 2 hearts. Wow. Scotty. He's not in bad shape. If we look pre-flop at his odds. Didn't come up on the screen, but he wouldn't have been in good shape. I think Scotty is going to go for a check raise here. That's my prediction. I think we should definitely, if it was heads up, I don't mind a check back, but in a 3-way pot, you've got to go for at least 40% plus. Yeah, he's gone for 50%. And this could be a check raise. This could be a big pot. Wow, he's gone for the call. Yeah, we all hope he gets there. We just hoped it was a bigger pot. And look at this. Heart on the turn. Picks up more outs, but it's the same percentage roughly. 14 outs. You can see it at the top of the screen now. Any heart. Any 9. Any 4. Is that right? Sounds about right. I don't just like a massive lead myself. This 5 is such a good card for the aces. I mean, if Scott has got a 5 here, what's he got? 5, 6. Would he lead out here with 5, 7? No. So I don't think the aces is folding. I think the aces is just going to... Might even put him in. But actually, if he's still got 20k behind... No, he doesn't have 20k behind because it says the bet is 1100 when it's in fact 11,000. No, I think they just got it wrong on the graphics. So if he does only have 9k left, he may put him in. He may opt to call thinking he'll just put the rest in on the river. But if he does have a big drawing hand, even 7-6, 8-6, 7-8, bet doesn't make sense. Unfortunately in poker sometimes money just got to go in against certain players. It doesn't make sense. There was no talking, there was no Hollywood. It was just a quick bet. I'd have preferred a check raise on this flop, and a lead on the turn would have looked a lot stronger. You've never heard him called the boots before. There you go. He should be hitting a lot of flops. He plays a lot of pots. Wow, don't tell me he's going to get him to fold. You just... If this was £1, £2, and they were sitting with £100, the money would be in. So regardless of the stakes, you should play the game. I mean, if this was against Max, for example, or George, I can understand a tank and potentially a fold. But against action players that you know are capable of having... Let's play it through. There was a raise pre, he called. Flat called. 3 bet. Was called and called. The flop came, check, bet, call, turn, lead. And lead for over the pot size. If you're ever in this dilemma, it's always good to play the hand back in your head. Now we can kind of try and narrow his range down. How do you narrow Scotty Hanna's range down? Any thoughts on that, let me know. So unfortunately, it's tough as well, you know, if you're in for a few quid and you've got yourself up to 30k, you don't really want to put it all in. But you do. You want to be getting your chips in against Scotty. If Scotty check raises flop and moves all in on the turn, it's a different scenario for me. What do you think he's going to do? We saw him make a massive fold earlier. The more they think, the more they fold. The problem is now when you've taken so long, if you're going to call, you might as well put the rest in. Unless you're doing this for him to jam the river the last 9k, hoping you're going to then fold. But if he does have draws and misses... I mean, it's not 6-9. It could be 6-9. I mean, he could have played 6-9. He would have check called flop and maybe led out. I mean, that's just one hand that beats you. Wow! Wow, Scotty, how have you got him to fold? He's going to show this one. Are they going to rabbit hunt? 10-6 a heart. The 10 of spades was the river. I think that was rabbit hunting.
Probably win on the river. I won anyway. Fold is good.
I don't think so.
Wow. Wow, words can't describe. Now, I'm not saying anything bad against Tobias. Tobias has got his mindset and his thought process behind why he played what he played.
That's all right. It's a pretty big draw for me. I have to go all in.
You
But
wanted
against
the call.
Scotty.
Come on, with your draw.
I was.
You really
Scotty
wanted him
wants
to
the call.
and then bink the river. and
Well,
then
I mean,
check
That's
the
exactly what it
I
is,
like
George.
to
He
go
wants
on
the
because
call
I
and
like
he
to
wants
think
the
that I was
hit.
perfectly happy. Call is good, fold is good.
You wanted the call.
I have 10 high, fold is okay. But I had.
His range does have a
monster
5
draw
in it,
call is also okay.
but his range has a lot of hands. And if we
really
take
wanted to follow
all the
it all
hands
in.
overall and the way the hand was
I
played,
want some excitement.
I mean, I could hear the Germans next door. They couldn't believe it either.
But I'm
Oh,
also.
you would have gone up in anyways.
Yeah, for sure. And then.
Give me 50k. Por favor, senor.
Wait a second, I have a funny feeling.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he can ruin you. He can have it. But let's look at percentages, how many times he's got it.
Glasses together, read.
What do you think he'd do with 7-8 there? I think he'd do the same thing. What would he do with 10s? What would he do with jacks? What would he do with...
A hand with lots
The
of
hands that he's got.
excitement. Hates when that happens.
I definitely know that he's not leading out with a full house on that turn. So now I'm losing to a 5. Or 6-9. It's a cash game. I mean, if it was a tournament, there's some thought process that's not too bad. But in a cash game, this Scotty Hanna, it's as always the Scotty show, and that's why we love it. That's why he's here. Max has a chance to get on. All 3 players with a pair. And Besim has got out the way. The way he's running today, it's going to come a 5. Oh, that's a lovely card for Maxi. Should check this now, Max. It's too good a card. Saying that if your opponent does have a big jack, less likely for you to have an ace when it does pair the ace. But he may try to represent it. Or put a bet in with his jack. Saying that, he's only got 76 left.
Okay, I'm all in.
Wow, he's got him to move in. A snap call. No messing around.
No, no, it's me.
What is going on here?
You have an ace and you have nuts. And there's not
DrawingDead.com. Max is back in this game.
Fold, so might as well go all in. Split pot.
Well, very happy for Max there. That will certainly get his confidence back up. And he's only doing he's in for 40k and he's only doing 7k. And you're going to see how that's going to change the tide for Max now. It's like a little mental adjustment that's happened. I think if he checked, Scotty could have moved in. But he's done a weak lead, as they call it, to induce that move. He's just seen him do it the hand before, so he thought, I'll go with a weak lead. He won't believe me for the ace. If I move in, he may fold a jack to me. China gambler, I understand what you say. But then what hand, you know, I know what you're saying, but the way the hand played out, a man playing any 2 can be dangerous. If that's the case, make the pot bigger pre. Let him play with any 2. If he gets there, good luck. Play the odds. Everyone's different. That's why we love this game. Scotty calls George's bet. No, he doesn't. Graphics letting me down again. So far, I think that's the biggest pot of the night. He's got a bit of reserve money in his pocket. Might ask him if I could borrow his hoodie. I'm funking for Max. One for the good guys. Aleks has been a bit quiet in trap 1. Last few hands. Dan with the ace queen. I'm assuming there could have been a straddle here. Well, of course, Scotty in. He hates these kind of cards, and this is why it's going to get him into trouble. Top 2 versus the gut shot for George. Dan was the razor pre-flop. With 3 callers, you've got to lead out with top 2. One of these players should have an ace. One could have a flush draw. Could have a flush draw with a gut shot. Scotty going nowhere. Once you've got him calling the flop, you know where you are. Go for value. He's in the mood to give it out. Scotty called, everyone else folded. Turn is a 5. Scotty has checked. Action on Dan. He should lead out like 4.5. Yeah, I like this. Just over half pot. He doesn't want his opponent to have a flush draw and get there at a good price. And if he's got an ace, he expects to get paid. But unfortunately, like we said before, you've got to give action to get action. And he has just been injured. What will he do? Solid fold. Wow. Pretty unlucky there for Dan that he just lost a load of chips. Otherwise, probably would have got a double up.
Nice answer.
Did you double up?
What's that?
Did you double up?
Where?
Right now.
No, I just kidding. I lost all
No,
of it.
I thought you had like only one fight picture, and then you said nice hand, and you collected
No, I said
pots.
nice hand. Daniel, I folded a big ace.
Oh, I see.
It's going to get Dan on tilt. Knowing he's folded a big ace. But he's done nothing wrong there.
It was another, he didn't
Looked
bat
like
aggressively.
Scotty was in the mood
Shit.
to start calling.
This was an ace queen.
It's all about timing.
Six. He might kick
He
him
looks a
lot
bit
later
like
than
a
eight,
Mizuraki,
smaller than a queen, so
says Dan.
Get away.
And Tomovic hasn't been involved for a while. Jonas behind. Kojak suited. Scotty with some of his favourites. Here he is.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Hello, Freunde.
Jens, the German live stream commentator with us. He's got his own Twitch show now. He's come to give it a plug. Any Germans on the stream listening? Log in, sign up. Subscribe. How do we pronounce it? The Real Canossi. Twitch.tv/The Real Canossi. Get involved. 3-bet by Besim. King 9 of hearts. And he's got Tomovic to fold. That's the ace queen. If you catch it, you think you're going to make nothing or lose a fortune. Kojak. Involved. And a big favourite. Oh, the first card out looked good for Scotty. There could be trouble for Besim. The wheels could be falling off. There's a few chop options. Obviously, a king, queen, ace, or a 4 for the chop. I mean, he's only got a bowl of rice left. Oh no, he might have chips under his hand. There we go. Just called. Yeah, looks like the graphics right. He's got about 6k left. The money's going in anyway. Look at that, Scotty would have turned the up and down. Besim's just going to move in. Is that a green chip? No. It's about 6.5, 5.5, 6. Snap call. I mean, when you're calling the 3-bet pre from the guy in the small blind, yes, he could have ace king, but you've got to be calling. He's got him crushed. Now a 6, a 4, a king, an ace, or a queen for the chop.
Flop to come back with that 5-3. Oh, shinies.
In the river. No joy for Besim. He's going to have to take a reload. And the rich get richer. Always seems to be the way. You get one big winner, couple of small winners, couple of big losers. But this is, obviously, it's rake free. It's going to take a quick break, but he'll be back. 46,000 euros. That pot was 31,000, so it's not the biggest pot of the night. There you can see it. Two guys doing over 20k. One big winner. A few people roughly around break even. A couple of small losers. 6-3, one of my new favourite hands. It's my kid's date of birth. 6th of March. Hanna with the hand that he told us he loved. Suited connectors.
Free war ziemlich oft. Flop auch und dann Turn. Like, okay, well.
Well, that flush draw with an over. Not a bad flop to put a small little c-bet in. The momentum's going with him a little bit. He's going to get his information for 600. I like these little bets. If no one's got any of it, you just take it. If you get a caller, you know it's going to be Scotty. Picked up a gut shot. These two have got some dynamics. He won't be in love with that card. How does he want to play it? Get out for 3k.
Going for a sec.
Well, I'm actually quite happy.
It's folded.
You like your ace?
Ace king?
No, ace jack. But if you raise, I mean, if you go all in, you know, what the fuck am I going to sell?
I had a 4.
I was hoping for 4, I mean.
You can just see it in his whole demeanour. Max is looks like he's come back to life.
The reaction didn't look that nervous when I announced raise.
I mean, I was waiting. Maybe you make it 6.
Sitting with another flush, you know.
Yeah.
If you make it 6, I mean, if he goes all in, I have to fold. But if you min raise, you know, like, okay.
You're never gonna fold. Yeah, go all in. You snap.
They're getting their dinner orders in now.
Show me your 4 with the 3 kicker. No pick.
Is this a
How would you
walk?
call it? Flop?
I think that is a first. It's a walk. Probably, no, I was about to say 95 hands. It was 96 hands and we've had a walk.
What's Tour in France?
Never. I have a buddy in London who I visit a lot. He's seen like 10
He's on
times.
tour.
He loves it.
He's on tour, and I really want to see him this year.
I heard he's still very good on tour.
For sure. This summer, I really
Jonas
him and
getting involved again.
Joe Cocker's dead. He just died a couple of months ago. 2 months ago he died.
no, really,
Nice little hand for George to defend. And Max.
I missed that. Did he die really?
2 months ago.
That's one of the
Something
guys
in
I
the
really
last 6
wanted to
months.
see.
Missed it. Too late.
Yeah, that's apparently it's too late. Well, so I better go see Rod Stewart. That is too late too.
And a C-bet, we can see, would get it through. But against these guys in the blinds, we're going to C-bet any two. George
When you
with the
come
gut
to tell
chop,
us,
backdoor
Torgo,
clubs.
Stop us.
Now last time George checked to Jonas, he checked behind and it went check, check on the river. Jonas will remember this. He doesn't need to bet the fours. He's got showdown. Not much against what George could have called with, but it's not a great card for him to stick a bluff in when it's paired the river king.
I was not holding the turn.
Gentlemen, are you playing?
Madonna, how can you think he's playing too many hands? We don't think he's playing enough. His VPIP has gone through the roof.
Give him a penalty for not being able to see. Cards in, give him cards. Here's one.
Besim.
That's Pidun. Here's Besim.
Give him.
Oh, Besim, you just lost your cards.
She did the right thing. The dealer is correct. I know it's all friendly and stuff. Rules are rules.
Can't ask for your cards and then fold, right? That's right. That's rude. Very rude.
Would be like make her work for nothing.
That would be very rude.
I know.
Well, the action starts tomorrow
Very aware
at
of
4 p.m. 50, 100 PLO. Well, not a bad flop for a little bit of action. And that has just killed it dead. So tomorrow the lineup confirmed. Thomas Bichon, Mads, Jin Kalin, Nihat, Ismail Bojang, Jan Peter Yachman, Ronnie Kaiser and Jasper Howard. They'll be here for the PLO, 10k sit down, 50, 100 the blinds. Start streaming 4 p.m. That'll go for 4 hours. We'll take an hour's break and we'll be back at 9 p.m. on the stream for 50, 100 no limit hold'em. Then we're back on Tuesday. 2 sessions again. Omaha in the afternoon, Hold'em in the evening. If you're local to the casino and you want to come down tomorrow evening, they've got the Deep Stack special. It's a 63 plus €7 buy-in, 10,000 a guarantee, 20,000 chips, 20-minute levels, 2 re-entries available. Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock, Meet the Stars, no limit Hold'em. It's a €45 plus €5 buy-in, 6,000 chips. 6,000 the guarantee. You get 10,000 chips. You can have 1 rebuy for €25 for another 10,000 chips. 20-minute levels and 2 re-entries available. And on Wednesday, it's a €5,000 guarantee for a 58 plus €7 buy-in, 25k chips. 2 re-entries available, 25-minute blinds. So the straddle is on. I like this 3-bet. Dan's not really been getting involved too much. He's opened when you 3-bet them, you're likely to get it through a lot. And if they do call, I mean, if they 4-bet, you just fold. If they call, you're in control of the hand. Your C-bets are generally going to get through. I want to see a bit more 3-betting. $99 red balloons. Coming up for the 100th hand. About 3.5 hours gone so far. Got about an hour and a half left. Not too late to win yourself a little King's goodie bag. All you got to do, let us know how much the big winner is going to win. Another prize for what the biggest pot of the night will be. So far it's 37,000 euros. Just send a tweet at Paul Zimbler. The closest answer will win. When Tomovic 3-bets you, you don't really want to call 2200 just to catch a flush. I guess, you know, if you catch the ace, you can lead out small, and if you get raised, you can fold. But he won't mind this flop. He'll know he's got at least one over and the nut flush draw. Against a player like Tomovic, when they're both quite deep, if you lead out and get raised, you've got to be ready to put the whole lot in. And he didn't want to be getting it in against Scotty. Bit different the situation, but I don't think he wants to play big pots. So yeah, he's checked.
Could have waited a bit longer. 5 minutes.
3.5k. I think if he was only in for 10k, he would probably raise. I think he might only be in for 10k. Not really sure, but I think he's just going to flat. And I hope if he bricks the turn, it goes check, check. Bod, I'll address that in a moment for you, as best I can. Well, he's picked up a gut shot for a chop. He's going to hope it goes check, check. Tomovic opened and called a big raise. If he bets here, he's going to go anywhere between 40 and 65%. And he's checked behind. He can beat a flush draw. And he can pick up 12k. If it's checked, he's just going to check behind and hope it was a flush draw. Now Tobias knows very unlikely to win the pot unless he bets. But if his opponent has like jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, he's probably going to call a bet here. So it's a real horrible spot for him. I like the way he takes his time on all his decisions. Very important to do this. He's checked. Tomovic has just found 12,750 euros. Free money. He too is thinking, and if he does bet, it's because he's turning his hand into a bluff. He may think his opponent has a pair. He's decided to check. Shows the ace king. Yeah, a lot of people worry about being dominated pre, but it's all... that's why knowing your players is so important, and how, for me, live poker is a lot easier to read situations unless you use a HUD. if you're sitting at a table, you can work out who the tighter players are, who the looser players are. Yeah, the looser players can have you dominated, but you're going to want to call to catch flops against them. The tighter players, you're going to fold hands like ace-jack to 3 bets because they've either got a semi-decent pair or a bigger ace. But everybody plays different.
Not knowing he was out of position.
So it's a tough one to say.
Next.
But if you can be the aggressor in the hand, you're going to do a lot better than if you end up just calling. Bet it for information. A hand can be played so many different ways. And depending what you do, depends what they do. So, and you never know what people are thinking at the time that they're involved in a hand.
Fold out of turn if I don't get a
And that's why we love the game.
It's more likely get a fold out of turn then, huh? Yeah.
Who's
Are you
JRB?
bored?
Sorry.
See you later.
Shapla. JRB. Was that the guy from the World Series? That took 5 hours for every decision.
Same.
Yeah, don't take 2 minutes, but think about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Really?
You got to think when you bet why you're betting. What is the purpose for your bet? What do I put my opponent on? If we could see our opponent's whole cards, we'd know exactly what we'd want to do. So narrowing their range down, and the more confident you get in your read, if you go with your read and put them on certain hands, you play accordingly. Is that who JRB is? Just trying to work out how George Danzer sleeps at night, whether the hair kind of interferes. Besim wins 200 chips, flopping trips. Well, they all look a bit deflated. I think we should do a round of straddle to liven this up. There's a game in London that we used to play, and every hour on the hour the alarm would go off and everybody would put £100 in the middle and we'd have a one-hand turnover. Always made it fun. Here he comes, Scotty. He's getting a bit aggravated. That it's probably he's not aggravated at the hands. He's just aggravated maybe that the action's slowing down. So he'll be the one to pump it up. Oh, he'll be back. Pretty sure. Oh, he's back. We need to get Leon in. Squeeze him in. I did just go outside before to get something to eat. And Martin, Cabril and Leon believe they were playing heads up.
Making murder. Yeah. It's 10 episodes. It's mind blowing. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's
I'll have to see that.
from the first episode on, you just can't believe it.
It's one of those. I don't like watching this thing unless I order them all at the same time. 300.
Yeah, it's
I watch
always
this
on
Breaking
Netflix,
Bad.
it's
Boom.
always
I
on.
watched
Yeah,
Juke
me
season
too.
1 and 2 season at one sitting.
I've started yesterday and I'm like now episode 7. And it's 10 episodes. That's just, I have to finish it. It's so addictive anyway. It's so like a cliffhanger. You have to like keep going anyway. I can't wait.
Didn't catch which TV series they're talking about. But I'm like that. I don't want to wait every week for another one. I'll just find one and watch 4 seasons in a couple of weeks. Scotty, the pre-flop raiser, was 3-bet. Could be trouble for Scotty here. He opened pre, he's been 3-bet. He's flopped second pair. They call this the sheep walk. 10-3. 1,000 snap called. 7 no help to anyone. You've got to bet again. If he's got a draw, he's not going to pay for it on the river. If he's got a jack, you're probably ahead. And if he's got a 10, you're definitely ahead. If he's got 2 pair, he'll let you know about it.
Behind, 8-5 behind.
2K.
86-25.
Past
86-50. 86-50. 86-50.
Nice. 2K. Can't imagine Scotty can pass for 2K here. But he has. Changing tactics.
George?
George put his blind in. He's not back yet. Still waiting for a few monster pots. We've had about 2 or 3 pots over 30k.
Hier kommt
Opened, obviously, from Scotty. The button, 8-6 calling.
Why did I get 50 back?
Max.
I bet 300, madame. 2 blues and 2 whites.
Cool.
Yeah. 3 of them to the flop.
So did I get 50 back?
Second pair for Max.
You donated 50. Choose the pot.
Yeah, Scotty, even with 2 overs. Half an hour ago he bets this. Oh, he has bet. I thought when he clicked his chips he was checking.
Ja, hast gesehen, dein anderes Team hat auch gewonnen.
Okay, I think there's someone else in the
Portland.
pot.
Die haben gewonnen. Gegen Clippers. 2-1 steht's jetzt.
Für Clippers.
Is this Besim?
War wichtig. Ist noch im Rennen.
Okay, so Scotty.
Ich werde relativ lange im Block sein. Es kann halt nur nächste Runde könnte es vorbei sein, wenn alles ganz schlimm läuft. Und wenn alles
Max
super
has
läuft,
found
muss
the
die
4
zwei
ball.
Leute mal-
We
muss
don't
die
know what
Cleveland-
Besim's got.
Das ist das Wichtigste.
Besim could have the king 10, but I'm pretty sure
muss ich halt ein oder
Gegen
Scott's
Cleveland,
hand.
das ist alles halt. Du musst einfach gegen Cleveland sein. Wenn es Cleveland nicht macht, dann macht es eine von deinen Mannschaften.
naja,
Max has got to decide. This pot's not big. His opponent could have had draws. You've either just got to lead out big and make it look like, that's right, like you've missed your flush draw and hope he's got something to call you with, or check and hope he bluffs. But he doesn't look like he's in the bluffing mood, but he might be in the calling mood. So I like this bet from Max.
Ja, die Pace ist nicht so stark dieses Jahr.
Double
Ich glaube,
the
du wirst
pot.
auf jeden Fall gegen Cleveland antreten. Aber es kann
It
sein,
looks
dass Cleveland
like a missed draw.
zum Beispiel nächste Runde, keine Ahnung, gegen die Hawks
I
rausfliegt.
can see the steam coming out of
Und dann hast
Besim's
du
ears
unter
already.
Umständen Hawks gegen Portland und da hast du eine.
aber selbst wenn ich einen im Finale habe, dann habe ich halt so 15% im Finale, ja. Oder
Nee,
20.
nee. Sicher nicht. Wenn du da mit einem
Golden State, Curry.
Playoffs 20%.
20.
Eine Mannschaft, die Cleveland schlägt, kann auch die Warriors schlagen. Kann immer was machen. Verletzt sich
Aber
einer.
sagen wir mal so, selbst wenn ich durchkomme, habe ich 20 und ich brauche 20, damit meine Wette okay ist. Also siehst du, wie schlecht die Wette ist.
Ja, okay, ja klar, aber ich glaube, wenn eine Mannschaft das Finale schafft, hat sie mehr als 20%.
Ja, aber damit meine Wette, sage ich mal, okay ist, muss schon einer ins Finale kommen. Damit sie okay ist, weißt du?
Okay.
Es ist halt schon keine gute Wette. Das ist schon eine ziemlich schlechte Wette. Wenn ich Underdog bin, ins Finale zu kommen
Ja,
und dann ist
Hast du es dir davor nicht angeschaut, oder?
Nein, ich hab's doch gesagt, ich schaue es mir nicht an. Ihr habt es euch angeschaut, bestimmt.
Just getting an
Ja.
update
Nee, ich
from
hab nicht keine
Warren
Odds ausgerechnet oder so.
on the outer table.
So ungefähr steht.
Nice, juicy Omaha game, still in full flow. I think the heads-up match is finished, but there is another table. I think they're playing 25-50, could be 50-100.
Nie den Karten aufklickt, nein, Karten aufklickt, dann nochmal nachdenkt und dann kommt.
Well, Scotty can find a C-bet.
Ah, hätte ich schon machen können.
Can even bet this turn if it's checked to him again. Tomovic also knows that Scotty unlikely to check. It's very rare for Scotty to check that flop. Could be worried about it. It's a good little card to take a stab. So just over an hour to go. Tonight and tomorrow we're back 4 p.m. The PLO, the sickness. It's 4-card PLO. The lineup is confirmed. Guaranteed action. George Danzer folding to Scotty's straddle. Wow. Oh, I guess he's got his dinner. But always be wary of a man eating dinner and raising. It's a good time to make a few moves. Scotty with the straddler. Max made a small raise. Probably thinks he's still in front, doesn't need to bet. Just because Scotty can have any two. Wow, Scotty's checked that turn to him. Scotty's going to have a little stab, like 1,000. Yeah, 1,100. And Max is curious, but he's not going to give me 1,100 euros. Surely not. I know he did check twice. Max is thinking right now, well, why did he check the first time? Was he going to check raise me? Okay, I checked then, so why didn't he lead the turn? Maybe he thought if I check the flop and check the turn, he's definitely going to bet into me. So when he weighs it all up, I think he's just going to throw it away. And look at that, and he's going to call him. Surely not. Give him a cheeky smile. Hero call not worked out this time.
Not again.
Bod, have a lovely sleep. Enjoy. I'll be here from 4.
I lost the
4
last
till
hand,
2.
King 10, because I didn't bet with 4 guys in the flop, so I was tilted.
Scotty was tilted because he thought he'd have lost the King 10 hand when Max had 3 fours.
But I have no chips.
So instead of giving Max money, Max just gave him money.
I had to be a pussy. I folded the
Yeah.
flop. And the king was a spade even, blocking all of you nuts. You had, it was like 9-6.
Well, it's all about the
And then
pride of finishing in front on the stream, even though the game will probably go into the night,
I check fold, because I have no chips.
as these players aren't playing tomorrow.
Yeah. For sure, when I see the turn, I know I'm good. I don't get to the turn. That's,
I reckon
I play with this gentleman.
Scotty is going to want to get nearer to level. He'd rather do 30k than be losing 13 and not give himself a shot to be a winner in the game. We saw it in the last stream. He was in front, he got level, last few hands, he just took crazy gambles.
What's your kicker, sir? Right now, your kicker still plays.
Well, the speech plate from Scotty again. Well, if Max called him 1100 on the river, you should invest 1100 here. I like it. I like it a lot. Scotty wants to call, but he knows it's Max. And then what does he do on the river? Pray that he checks behind?
Needed a heart on the turn.
It's going to fold.
A king nine of hearts. No good, huh? Scheiß kicker. Max and
That
Pray
is
the man.
the body language of a folder.
Where's your phone?
Huh?
Where's your phone?
I think there's no good.
Oh, Max has put a little bluffy in. Shown it.
I had
Trying to get paid
I had two
from
undercards
other
to
payers
five.
paying attention that he's not such
Two
a rock.
undercards to a 3. So either I had the nuts or nothing. So I decided to save my money for later. It's probably nuts, and if you really had that, then it was nuts. I ran pocket 4s till the river against this nit bag, and then it came ace on the river, and I told it.
Oh, I've just had a little picture sent to me of my little baby.
But I had 4s.
He's doing
I
good
had 4s
today.
Against him as well. King, king, ace. Of course,
He'll be well away from these poker tables, I promise you that.
he's never going to stop betting, so I have no pulver. No
Meanwhile, Scotty, what have you got? Straddles are on. Tomovic opens.
chip stack fold.
Jonas calls. Nope, he's gone for the 3-bet.
You didn't really think I folded the king, did you?
No.
First time I've ever seen
You
you
said
show that.
ace. You said what's
I
a
said
kicker?
king none.
Oh, of course you don't do that.
I wouldn't
Of
fold
course
it.
he
I
doesn't
wouldn't
have an ace.
fold an ace either. I guess.
Yeah, of
Come on,
course.
what the fuck? I'm only half as dumb as I look.
If you had an ace today, I would have been so happy. Like if that happens 1 out of 100 times, you have to be really happy about that.
I think it's a dozen.
Good to see the straddles on. Maybe they've done a deal to do some compulsory straddles. Georgie boy opens it up with the 6s. Scotty 3-bets the K9. Must call with suited connectors
Started the hand
here.
with 9 and a bit.
I would call with
so
suited connectors. Well, he's folded.
I've got 7 behind. 7-1 behind.
Well, George is not passing for 1600.
I forgot to say bon appetit, sir. Let that steak cost you 600, not 9,000.
Scotty and Besim are the two big losers at the moment. Jonas, the big winner. The others are floating there or thereabouts. I think Dan's doing about maybe 10k. The others are give or take a few thousand. So not too much. Wow, George is folding.
Very kind of you. Bon appetit.
He probably assumes if he's
You're eating
opening,
steak and I'm serving dog.
and Scotty knows George is solid, and he decides to 3-bet him.
Call the push.
Psychological games.
I
There you
don't
can
know if
see.
you push.
Ask the question
You're in.
straight up on the screen. They must be
I was
listening.
gambling that you were too hungry to push.
Maybe too satisfied already at the time.
Did you finish eating? Because you just, I only bet because you were turning around eating. I thought, shit, he's going to
Probably
push.
overestimated that factor if you look at him now.
Yeah,
He hasn't
now
turned
he's-
back at all.
Alright,
Sorry,
I'm not
George.
hungry anymore, guys. Alright.
Shit, I was now, no more provocazione. I'm,
600 euro meal? It's like a little expensive, right?
sorry, George.
Okay, he's got his mojo back.
You could have pushed. I might have called.
We got
I might have
action.
called. I'm a little tilted.
I think you would have called. That's the problem.
That's a problem, huh? Wow. I'll remember the next time you bet 600.
Yeah, we're playing 50, 100, no limit hold'em, and we are going to be on for roughly just over an hour. An hour more tonight.
monsieur,
We'll be back at
call
4
me
o'clock
3
tomorrow
flops.
afternoon
You have
for
7
50,
aces.
100 PLO for 4 hours. Then we'll take an hour's break, and we'll be back for 50, 100, no limit hold'em for the evening session. Same again on Tuesday.
It's one chip game.
It's a very good
Limit
salsa.
hold 'em. Now I can bet 2 chips.
Hanna's checked here because he thinks his opponent is very solid. But once he's checked, Hanna
Now I have
should...
to look because I might have a straight. I definitely have a flush draw. I think I yeah. Nah,
He might just check and chop it up.
Should take that hand really aggressive. Oh, let me kick. Let me kick. Scheiße.
Not enough kick. It's possible.
We've had about 2 or 3 pots over 30,000. The biggest pot so
I lose
far, I
50
think, is
bucks
just
on
under
that. All that
40,000.
aggression, I lose 50
We've
bucks.
had 1 walk.
Nice hand.
Spend another
It
500.
only took
I
96
know,
hands.
I have a flush draw and a straight draw. on
But
the
it
river
came.
and I don't bet. Needed the ocean card. I didn't deserve to win that, I suppose, if I pussied out.
Yeah, it slows down towards the end. The winners lock up. Pocket sevens, the walking sticks, one of my favourite pairs. I don't know why certain pairs like sevens seem to flop more sets with sevens than anything else. It's probably a psychological thing.
So, in good English, with this many guys, I'm probably
Well, the button and the blinds coming along.
I bet on you.
Let's see. Let's see if they can call me.
Well, that is going to be a little bit of action. Now, George could check raise this. Highly likely Scotty will c-bet. But he wants to lead out. He wants to take control of the pot. Scotty will now fold. What? You got 2 players behind you. A man leading out. Yeah, quite right. Jack 8 to fold. 10-9's folding.
I have a big pocket, sir, but there's overpairs there. There's overcards.
King high there.
I believe, but there's a very good bet. You can't let it get to me. I have to bet as well. I have a pocket bigger than 6s and smaller than 8s. And both red. Scheiße. Nice bet. I wanted to float and then I have no money. I'm
If you
poor
score
kid.
all in, you cannot call this.
Yes, I know. One time I could be wrong. Let's let's fold the queens and
I
fold
take
the ace
oh,
king.
let's split him.
And we can play 3 cards. prosím ještě espresso.
Two, please. Just two and check.
D-V-A. Va.
Va.
Or D-V-E. The accent de V. Depends on the
Dva is easy.
Va is easy.
You pronounce it just dva.
D-V-A. Va.
Dva.
You say everything in nominative, you'll get by. You say it all in nominative, people will understand.
Yeah.
They have Putzen.
Back just in time to see Max scoop another pot. Flopping the straight, it looked like.
You are making this pretty clean.
Dirty causes.
Three.
Let's get into that time of day where Besim just gambles. Scotty will gamble. He's got him crushed. It's a gut shot for Scotty.
5.
Sex with a queen. It's going to be the joke. Here we go.
Check.
Call in the 500.
Check.
Check.
Well, it's a small pot for Besim, but they all help.
I think it's not.
You have much the nuts.
Kann man noch einen haben, bitte?
Espresso?
Ich esse noch ein bisschen weiter.
You had the nuts. You did indeed.
Counting the money.
Come on, the straddles. Scotty has got the straddle.
Straddle 200.
Yeah. We need Besim to straddle 400. Don't think he's got enough chips in front of him to do that at the moment.
Den press up.
Suited royalty. Sixes have been out a lot tonight as well. Heads up to the flop. 2 overs and a gut shot against the under pair. So they, I presume, are some folded cards that we can see there. Reading on the board that may have just been passed over the sensor. So it would have picked up the chip. Need to get a bit of a flop cam. Ace of spades. Tobias should be able to take this down right now. Nut flush draw and a gut shot.
And that's 1,300.
Changes. Chips to throw around.
Straddle 200.
There we go. He doesn't mind a straddle himself, just didn't want a double straddle. And there they are again.
Info.
George just calling. Hanna, the 4 deuce suited. Does he fancy a squeeze or does he just want to see a flop?
I bet 8,000.
There it is. He's all in. He wants the 1,000 dead money.
They were thinking about how do I make it full.
Very unlikely anyone going to call this.
Folding for 2,000.
I mean, you've got to know that he's 99% not doing this with a monster. It's just whether Tobias wants to gamble. A lot of players do it with small pairs because they don't want to see a flop. And if they raise to 1,000, everyone's calling. They can do it with ace king, could be a flip. Could be doing it with a hand like 8s, 9s. So overall, pretty sure Tobias doesn't need to gamble this 8k the way he's played today so far. In his head he wants to call, but the reality is it's less likely than likely. And there it is. All over by the shouting.
Nut low.
No, second nut low. The nut low folded.
My poker stars is check raise 4 deuce hearts.
I was
It's
close.
clubs.
I was close.
Same
Look
thing.
at your bet.
You had me dominated.
I figured
Three
I had.
deuce of
You
hearts.
really figured out a good bet size to make everyone fold.
I figured predominantly. Actually, basically everybody had to fold to that. The only guy who had a hand was Tobias, and he was thinking about it.
You actually didn't have me dominated.
I had you dominated, then you
Believe it
make
or
a
not.
very good fold. Then. I can't believe you figured me out.
Good old. I had suited connector.
It's a good time for George or Max to start pumping it up when the table gets quiet.
Tobias, I think, I was suited and I was connected and I had a straight flush possible. I was at least in the running. At least in the running with Tobias. He had never better than ace queen. He calls me with anything better than ace queen.
Obviously.
Huh?
Obviously.
Tomovic going to pump this up.
The
He
rest
likes a
of
3-bet in position,
You might have had like.
quite rightly so.
Had you crushed? No. That's possible.
it's
Definitely possible.
I mean,
Wow, it's an absolute monster for Scotty. And Max will stick in 1,000
fun of it.
and try to catch a tray.
Yeah, it was like 600 €600.
3 ways to the flop. First card. Oh, there it is for Max.
Would have been also not bad for me.
The window card was an ace. And tucked right behind it, the little tray. He knows there's no point betting this if Tomovic he's going to see bet a lot of flops, and if he's got the ace, he's going to get him to bet the turn as well. Yeah, it is live. We've got a half an hour delay on the stream, but it is live. Now I'd like to see
Garage.
problem is with the ace on board, it's hard to check raise with a flush draw because the ace of hearts is out there, so it's not like you've got overs with a nut flush draw. So a little tank call. Pray for a little brick. Little does he know he wants to see a jack on the turn. And if you check, more than likely, unless it comes a king or a queen, which actually is irrelevant because if his opponent had ace king, ace queen, it's the same result. But it's how the psychological factor plays in. It's just going to be a call. I mean, he could raise here and hope that Tomovic has got maybe like ace-king and they get it in. But I don't think Tomovic is going to stick in 25k with one pair. He's going for a min click. Or just over.
9,900.
Now Tomovic, he's got his information. Max generally doesn't step out of line, but Max knows if he calls this bet, is likely to get the rest. I think he's going to fold it. It's unlikely Max is going to do this out of position with a flush draw when the ace of hearts is on board. $65 more to call. Problem with check raising here against an opponent like Tomovic, who could have even ace jack, ace queen. Very hard to get all the chips from him, but he's got him to commit. So the turn bet should be something similar like 9-9. A heart would slow a lot of stuff down. An ace or a jack is carnage. Look at this. Quads for Max. I told you that was his turning point a while ago. I'd like to see a really small bet. Anywhere from 66 to 99. Looks like he wouldn't want to pay a pot-sized bet on the turn. It's like a stopper bet. Looks like it's 74. I love it. Right in the middle of the two. I like this bet. And it's such a great card because if his opponent does have the ace, if he's called 6-6 more on the turn, such a perfect card for Tomovic too. And it's such a great bet because of it looks like he didn't want to have to call a pot-sized bet. I think it's going to be in the tank for a while here. Now, a lot of players would check their quads here, but I like the bet. Managed to log on, and my two guys that were at the final table short stacked at 7 o'clock this evening. They're in the last three. I've just seen one of them, Ryan Spittles, my co-commentator for the Grand Prix Poker Tour, has just taken out Will Davis, and he's heads up for the title. He's going to have a slight chip lead. Good luck, Ryan. I think he's going to put this together because he knows if he calls this, the pot's going to be over 40,000. It's going to be an all-in on the river, and if you're just going to call here to fold the river, it's such a tough spot. Great poker. The meta game is coming into play. They both know both of their images. I think he's going to fold. It's very concise. If he thinks this is a flush draw, then he should just go all in, because then his opponent has to call. Well, he doesn't have to, but it's more likely to call. Because if he thinks it's a flush draw and it doesn't come the heart, I mean, what are you going to get away on the river if it comes a heart? Is that why you're only calling? Who knows? He has called. We've got the biggest pot of the night so far. An ace on the river would just be an online hand. A jack would be sick. It's a brick 8. Max now. Is he going to go for the lot? His opponent's only got 11k back. I think it's going to be a minute dweller and an all-in. I think if you bet a little bit less, yeah, it looks too suspicious. And get comfy. If you thought the turn took a while, this could take a while longer. He might have just decided, I'm a bit frustrated. I decided to call the turn, and if it came a heart, I'd fold. It's come the 8 of diamonds. The all-in is irrelevant. He knew Max had to go all in whether he's got it or whether he doesn't have it. It's the only way he can win the pot if he's got nothing. So I believe Aleks Tomovic already knew his game plan. That's what took him so long on the turn. He was just deciding whether to fold, to call, to move in. And if he called, what cards on the river he'd fold to. Max couldn't just give up. Great hand of poker. Well played by Max. A lot of people check that turn. This is a great hand. 51,000. If he's called. This is already the biggest pot of the night. Quad threes. Max Altergott, that one hand that turned it round for him. Everything changed. He was having a mare. He came back, got himself back in the game, and he could be the big winner. He's in for 30,000. He's 20,000 up, even if his opponent folds. If Aleks calls, he's 30k up. Quads are turned over. Aleks will tap the table and say, nice hand. But unfortunately, when he called the turn, he had to call river if it didn't come a heart. Pretty sure that's what he thought. 63,000 euros. I'm going to note the time in case anyone tweets me 63,000 after it. And Max, from being 30 grand in the hole, is 30k up.
Okay. Yep.
Easy game when you get quads, but it's how you play them. I was in for 40k. Sorry, so it was only 23k up.
It was very likely you had the 3 of diamonds in your hand.
Aleks, now the big loser with Scotty, is reloading for 20,000.
You have like 3, 4 diamonds, ace 3 diamonds, or 3.
Sorry, you mean hearts? You mean you're talking about the flush draw?
No. Ace, there's only like 2 combinations of super cards, like ace 3 diamonds or 3, 4 of diamonds, or pocket 3s.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, Max is a gentleman. He knows not to get involved in too much of a discussion after the hand. He knows he got quads, he knows he got paid, he doesn't want to rub anyone's nose in it.
Overcall the race and I got 3.
That's what I was thinking. I start pocket 4s, maybe pocket 3s, and 3 on the turn, never pocket 3.
But you often raise 3.
Yes, that's enough.
No, race, call.
Ah, okay.
Check.
Pretty unlucky there for Aleks. He's played solid all day.
So you don't really have too many
Solid
cards.
player. And that's poker. Well, that has certainly... Oh, and look at this. Limps with the boots. American Airlines. Things are turning around. And it's been raised it up. Looks like trap 1. Is he in the gambling mood? And look at this. Scotty has got the Cowboys. Finally. Some excitement in the last hour. Scotty just flats behind as well. Max, when Max limp raises to an open from Tomovic. All in and a call, a snap call. Look at that, 0 to hero in a matter of seconds. Wow, pretty unlucky there for Scotty to walk into aces.
Once or twice?
Once.
Yeah, that's it. If you're going to hit, you're going to hit. No help. It's all just the king. It's not to be, and Max is just hoovering up towards the end of the session.
Wow, that's the second time today. I went pre-flop all in with king.
We got 45 minutes left.
Last time it cost me 6,000. This time it cost me 8.
Yeah, that happens to Scotty a little bit. He does generally walk kings into aces on the stream. Ryan Spittles has just won the title in Reading. Well done. It's my co-commentator in London. And look at this! Hold on. Are you lying to me? Back-to-back aces. If Scotty finds kings here, the table's going to go up. Oh, it's a king 7. But a hand with a king in. Well, he's folding. If this gets through, will he turn him over?
Probably overplayed by me. Huh?
He's going to turn him over. Back to back.
Scotty.
Where's the kings? Where are the kings?
I had a king that time. I had a king.
So lucky, Scotty.
Quads,
You don't lose it twice in a row.
aces. Quads, aces versus kings.
Hey,
Aces.
when I grow up, I want to be like Max.
It's rush poker time.
Done for today, right?
I had a king.
Voll Auszahlung mit
King
Quads,
9,
dann
no,
aces
king
versus
7. I had.
kings, and
King
then
7.
aces. Pretty sick, you don't get any extra, right?
Yeah.
It's lame.
I mean,
bad, man.
like,
I was tilted.
Could have been worse. Could have lost with him.
King 7. You might have lost if I called you with king 7.
Uh-huh.
4.
I wouldn't be too unhappy, you know, like after this action that you with king 7, I'm like, okay, Scotty, okay, alright. Like I would be...
Let him live.
I would kind of feel like it's kind of fair share, you know?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But this
I
time
used
it's
to have
for
this a lot,
20
but...
then. This time it would have been for 20 rather than 8 minutes.
Exactly.
I used to have it actually quite a lot when I was like playing online or something, and I was like winning a lot. I started like feeling a little bit bad for the other person. I was like feeling it's kind of like unfair.
So is it that time again?
No, not yet. You see, I grew up.
Now you don't care anymore about that.
Max used to care. Now he just wants the money.
I don't know about that, bro.
I'm kidding.
That's a bit strong.
I'm kidding.
Well, we
Don't
could
be kidding. You guys.
we could have a
don't get
really
all political
fun
correct.
last
You're gonna
half
either
hour
be-
or so.
let
Scotty
somebody else
could
be
do
nice.
50
Enough
grand.
correctness. We
He
change
could
it.
win
Child,
50.
right? You learn the
He'll certainly be getting
family.
involved.
Everybody wants to be nice. and
Scotty
not
down
polluted.
36k, Alex down
He has
30,
to provide those.
Besim down
Yeah,
20.
he has to provide. Yeah. He has to eat something.
Feels so too.
That's a 60k swing in 2 hours. You must take
Mamma mia.
what are the pills you take to stop the stomach ulcers? It sounds a lot, but these guys, Max plays all the super high rollers, 100,000 buy-in. I mean, it was exactly a year ago now, because they're off to Monte Carlo. I believe he made 3, if not 4
Don't
final
you guys,
tables.
when you world
The
travel,
high roller,
get
the super high roller, the main,
political correctness.
and I believe one
Be
other
nice
side
to
event.
everybody. Bullshit trap.
Made himself a couple of million in a week.
Stay cutthroat. Life is like Texas Hold'em. You have a chance, get them all.
But you can smile while you bluff.
You can smile. You can be a nice human being, but think about it. Be smart. Be German. Turn off all your well-engineered nuclear power plants. So the French who don't know how to engineer their way out of a box can run nuclear energy. That's smart.
Somebody's got to stop.
Well, Tomovic is putting a 3 bet of some size in. I think it's going to go to like 1,500.
No politics, guys.
No politics.
He just wants one caller. And he'd rather it was Scotty than any of the guys behind. Yeah, he's made it 1,500. Good guess. 30 looks like.
Yeah, I agree with that one. If you turn them off. You shouldn't buy nuclear power from France. That's not smart.
Who's creating all of the power in France?
Well, Max, he's got the button, he's got suited connectors, and he knows these guys are a bit tilted. We've got a pot.
Law of unintended consequences.
Surprise, Tobias is getting involved. Queen, Jack, 9, 2 diamonds, 2 pair. Against the pair and a gut shot, and just the gut shot. Not the greatest board to flop bottom 2 pair on. Tomovic with the runner nut flush and a gut shot with overs. Does he fancy a gamble? He could call here to represent the flush if it comes, knowing his opponent has made some big folds today that is capable to push him off this pot. As long as he's called with that in mind, 7 on the turn won't scare his opponent away. Pretty sure if Tomovic checks, Tobias just needs to put him all in. Take the 13.5k. If he's got a draw, he may be tempted on tilt to call with a bad price. You've got to take advantage of these situations. That's the difference in poker. Getting the maximum. The 10 on the... Oh, look at this 10! Absolutely sickening for Tobias, but to be fair, I think he should have bet this turn. And if Tomovic moves in here, I mean, you're losing to so many hands now. Queen 10, Jack 10. Don't know if he should be moving in, but what's he going to bet? Half pot? 7 and a bit K? What a river. $10k, and we're going to have a dwell up and a fold. I mean, all you can beat right now is an ace high flush draw that's missed. Maybe ace 10 you can beat. But if he had the ace 10 of diamonds, it was all going in on the flop. So we know he doesn't have that hand. Tobias is going to feel a bit unlucky. And to be fair, he is a bit unlucky. Because if it comes an ace on the river, or a king, or a brick, I mean, Tomovic is never going to bluff. I believe he floated to bet a diamond. But Tobias, in my mind, is just... He was just trying to keep pot control in a spot where he could have just taken 15k.
Normally I should have 30,000.
And he could have got himself up to 35k, and he's folded. Tomovic will be loving life a little bit more now.
If I had 30, we would have never saw the flop before. We still got it all in.
He's got a bit back, but he's still got a long way to go.
Basically, whatever I'm losing tonight, I would have lost it all in the hand anyway. Aces, kings.
It's a very good way to think about it.
Slowed down on the pre-flop betting until it was all in.
That is a very, very good way to think about it. And I do that if I'm in a situation. He could have had 30k in front of him. He'd have done the whole 30k in that one hand. So it's like, it's irrelevant what's happened. He's had fun, he's gambled, he's been up, he's been down. And he would have lost it all anyway.
3 for 28.
He's done it with a smile on his face. True gentleman. And look at this. Tomovic calling 400 with 4 deuce. He's a different man.
So I'm going to take 30 tomorrow.
And they say tilt affects people in different ways.
Well, there's this very famous Shakespearean Seattleite, his name Macklemore. Painters are not great because they paint great. They're great because they paint a lot.
124 hands played.
Keep throwing it up.
And there it is, King's Casino.
All right, Besim.
Rodorov. That's the main gaming floor.
Let's go.
Beautiful restaurant and slot area.
It's okay. No, no. He seems to be eating in peace.
Let's let him eat in peace.
No, take his plants.
We're going to try and do a few interviews with some of these players about certain hands to see if we can get inside their head. I'm going to talk to Max about his quads.
Oh, shit. It's supposed to be 300. Sorry, my friend. Mid-raise. I made 300.
The hand with Scotty earlier as well. That was interesting, but I'll have to remember it. We'll get them in the box tomorrow. None of these guys are set for the Omaha lineup. So that starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Get it back on track. How about one chip?
So the 7 of clubs, 5 diamonds, they're not the board cards. They were somebody's mucked cards that went over the sensor.
One chair. 2 chips.
2 chips could be 1,000. Not sure what the turn is. It's a 9. Scotty is golden. He's
What's the next progression?
called.
3 or 4?
And the river.
Could be logarithmic.
It's a brick. I'd like to see a nice 3k bet here. He's going to get called because he's folding all the big pots. He wants to play small pots, but then he's doing his money.
Maybe I actually have something. I could have a 4 with a 9 kicker.
You could have.
Logarithmic would have been better, you see.
What do you mean, 255?
I don't know the logarithmic scale, but probably wouldn't have got called. 250. What's George can tell us? He's a scientist. Aren't you a distant shuffler?
Not
Well,
anymore.
I know he's a world-class tournament player, Tobias.
Igor, his girlfriend.
Tournament poker and cash poker are different games.
Coming tomorrow, I believe.
Anyway, I think I got max value out of a shitty hand.
Ace, queen for George under the gun. Well, Max, he's had a good day in the office. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but that's why we love the game. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Just hang in there, play good. It can all turn around. Now Scott has found another piece of this flop. Half pot snap called.
What was that?
Now George knows he can get a value on the
spades,
turn
that's
and
alright.
the river. He'll bet 1,200 on the turn, I would assume. Oh my God, Scotty! He's going to find a way back. Wow, he's let out. What was the bet? 2,000, I think. And now Scotty knows he can get value. Oh, he's just gone into check call mode. Scotty must bet. And must bet like 4.5k if he bet 2k on the turn. He knows he's getting called. He led the flop, check called the turn. That means he's check calling most rivers. Maybe he didn't bet 2k on the turn.
Seven with a 5 kicker.
Yeah, George sees the bad news. This could be Scotty's magic half an hour.
Kicker was good that time. Kicker I needed.
Goes through
I wanted to
phases
check
where he misses
behind.
everything,
I can't
and when he
sleep
hits
with
everything,
myself. I don't have value, bet the river, and I
but it
don't
can
know how
stop
to sleep
at
without
any
sleeping
moment.
on myself.
So it's the last dealer change of the evening.
So I had to check. I had to bet.
We've got a half an hour left.
Alright, I'm coming after Max now.
Good luck with that one. I'm funking for Scotty. Oh, you come after him. Now he's going to raise it up. After that comment, Scotty is folding. Max is going to have a go at him. He told me you're coming after me.
He has aces again. I knew it. Smell it. What's going on? The guy has
Wow.
aces again. He's such a nitbag. Biggest nit in the history of poker.
That's why everybody's folding. You know, it's
Pre-flop
like
bet.
fun and
And
everybody.
here I am. I don't fold my kings pre-flop against this nit.
Well, I hope we don't, because every time aces.
I mean, every time you raised pre-flop, you had aces. How come I should
He
have folded
limped.
my kings?
He limped when he had them.
Attack on wrong
Or
casino.
quads.
We should call it aces. But
Yeah, we need to rename the casino. Either Max's house or
aces.
Tarkin,
You know, nuts. We can just call it nuts.
the floor man.
Was? Ja, sie sind gerade bei
I
Anfang.
think they're talking about moving the game
Okay.
once the stream
Bin
stops.
nervös. Ja, ich habe den Fisch ein bisschen gefuttert und jetzt
The
ist
VIP
es
room?
Erntenzeit.
Danzer. Could he just move in here? There's 1,700 free money.
First I have to call Jonas.
We would have to assume.
My money.
He's only got 6k left. I might have gone for the move. You may have got called, but it's unlikely you'd be crushed. Top pair to Tobias. $2k in the middle. You're just going to pot it and hope no one calls. Yeah, 1,400, 3/4 pot. Now this will tell you if Tomovic is on tilt. He knows he can get him to fold. So I do like the fact that he targets Tobias. He's got a gut shot to go with his queen.
Just gotta go to the inside. Feel my queens.
A lot of scare cards that can come on the river now. Now when he's got top two or two pair, he checks the turn.
So George, you're living in Vienna.
Salzburg.
Salzburg. Ooh, very
Has
nice.
he learnt his lesson?
Come visit you there. I love that.
Does he want to bet now? Is he going to carry on checking for pot control? Every time he checks the turn, he faces a difficult decision on the river.
Are you there much of the time? You travel.
Mostly traveling.
I don't know if Tomovic is going to try it on this board.
But it's more than a pull spot. You have a nice place there.
No, yeah.
Eight-
When I'm not on the circuit,
8-5
I stay
got there,
and play.
5-4 got there, 8-10's there, all the straight draws got there. He can he can beat 8-9. That's the only hand he can beat.
26.
Yeah, 26 he's calling, even though he thinks he keeps calling off 2k here, 2k there. This does not look like the face of a happy man.
You're playing good.
Nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah, a bit.
I mean, surely you check the turn to allow bluffs. If you're folding here, then you should just bet the turn yourself.
Max.
What? 26,000?
What no one saw is I had already queens 5 times today.
You had queens as well. I didn't have anything.
I
Well,
think the
well,
bet
you
was
won one.
2,600.
I
I
had one
don't
time
believe
queens,
it's
one time kings.
26,000.
You know what's actually funny? You actually had king 7 when you want to get 2-6.
King 7 when I won.
Trips and yeah.
I had King 7 the next hand. Shit. Should have played it again.
And then you said I should crack the aces with king 7.
Chirpy chips for Max.
I messed up. Probably folded the nuts there.
Yeah, it is 2,600.
I would have been like in golf bounce back.
I mean, he's calling and he's going to win the pot, but it's a bit of a tank call, really. It's not a
No
big
time
bet.
for that.
I know he's paid a few off.
I'm busy changing diapers and talking in funny language.
So, gentlemen, we will play 3 last hands.
There you hear it from Tarkin. It is the
Oh,
last
sure we can play,
3
right?
hands
Continue
of the
playing.
evening.
I hope so.
Do they usually continue playing on the same table.
Get some straddles on.
Oh, let's go up there. It's more comfortable.
Oh, I see.
So the game will continue. Scotty would love to be a winner by the end of the 3 hands, as you can see by his open with the 3 deuce off.
Oh, Georgie. 900?
Nice 3 bet.
900.
On the
My
button.
God.
I got it.
Scotty is not folding, but he knew that when he raised.
7 Position, ne? 7 Stacks.
Check.
Can Scotty find a check raise? Oh, come on, I know he can do it. Can he pull the trigger?
800 or 1,000?
I think he was going to, and he's just changed his mind. Oh, be careful, that nearly went over the line.
And Alco gives you anything?
I would thought they were going in.
Kroatien jeden Tag um 8 Uhr aufgestanden und 10 Uhr.
Come on, Scotty. Show us you got the moves.
8 Uhr abends.
8 Uhr morgens. 8 Uhr morgens hoch und 10 Uhr
Monsterful. Monsterful.
Really?
Mein Rhythmus
Yeah.
geht. Ja, mega
I
nice.
have 2 undercards to the
Dann
board.
jeden Tag 25 Kilometer unterwegs, laufen und
You've got to be
Have
calling
your
with it.
hands.
You've got to be calling with these hands to make moves.
4 deuce?
No. King 9.
Okay,
mein
I
Maximum
had
jetzt.
3 deuce.
Auf jeden Fall, dass mein Körper so
3 deuce, no hard.
seit 10 Uhr so
I'm in a strudel.
Schlafenszeit.
Excuse me.
You could almost never hit that board, but
So we'd have got 130 hands in today.
I was thinking, if I call, I have to represent the hearts.
Gehst du gerne in die Sauna?
If the heart comes and you ship,
Mega nice.
Yeah.
I just
You have some
Yeah,
private area?
but I can't call unless I have to plan to at least represent the heart. And I have 3 deuce, no heart.
War es mega geil.
Just
Uh,
over
better
5
fold,
hours.
I think.
Ich meditiere
About 30 hands an hour.
Das ist mega nice.
Perfekt, aber das ist mega
Pardon,
entspannt.
pardon, pardon. Excuse me.
Scotty.
Mega nice.
Oh man, I'm such a nit, George. I should have called and then shipped.
Und danach dann
Well,
raus
second
und dann
pair,
wieder
he could be paying a little bit of money off.
oder wieder direkt in die Sauna rein. Whatever.
But that's why I was. The only reason I was thinking is I think if I call, I have to
Ja, oder
play
das ist auch
hearts.
geil. Der State dann hat ist auf jeden Fall so mega zen.
Flat call, flat call. All pretty standard. Come on, the tenor clubs. Ooh, look at Scotty. Check, check,
no, that's
check.
very difficult. I mean,
Or are you
it's
going to bet it,
almost
Scotty?
impossible there. But as I said, I was hesitating just for that reason.
I think he had 9-4 of hearts earlier. Won a nice pot. Don't know if I like this lead. If you check, call, and lead turn. Well, Scotty is just going to call. Hope to get action behind. And Jonas will think he's winning.
Did you have a water fight?
Yeah, I watched yesterday.
King on the river for Scotty to get the double up. Oh my God, last hand of the night, and it's
I
come.
decided watching that I would never want to do
Now, Jonas is definitely going to bet for value here.
somebody, you know, like
But this is a case where you kind of got to bet fold.
could have been like something serious happening, like taking him to the hospital afterwards.
But he might go for like a massive value bet of like 8k.
Die into it, you know?
They had actually interviewed some professional fighter that stated that they had like very thin gloves.
I mean, of course, 10 Jack got there, but
that amateurs like them, especially not protecting himself, not being trained enough,
Yeah,
they could have,
exactly.
like he said, like basically he was quite lucky coming out.
what
like
an
this.
interesting hand this one is.
It could have been so much.
I know.
He's checked.
Like easily, like
Now,
quite a
Scotty
bad
will
percentage.
probably get carried away and overbet this pot.
30 kilos.
But I'd like to see him bet 8k.
No,
It was
30 pounds.
20 pounds, I think.
No,
20,
30
yeah,
pounds.
165.
I just don't know if Jonas is even going to entertain any of it. If the bet's too big.
22 pounds.
If he plans on quitting the game after this hand, he won't call a big bet. If the game's going to carry on, oh, he's calling that for sure.
For a long time.
4 and a bit K he's calling.
Yeah, but he never had a real fight, right?
That's
Yeah,
the
but he
thing.
was preparing
It's always good to know if players are going to carry on or if they're leaving. Because if he was going to leave,
and, like,
it's taking the money with him.
Nothing.
If the game continues,
I don't know, in my mind,
you could bet more.
though the 10 kilos different, I thought JC was a favorite, like, when they made the bet.
Scotty would probably bet a queen here if it was checked to him.
For the bookies, he was a favorite.
Yeah.
I probably would have picked JC if he would have had already 10 fights or something for money. Because then he would be so experienced. But then
Yeah, if he has 10 fights, then the odds are different, bro. Then you don't have it like that. Like, then, if he had 10 fights experience,
yeah, let's say
then...
or something, you know, something where you feel like you experience it. But he
Wow,
wants you
how
to
long
like
is he taking to call here? It looks like a bit of a nick call
farming and everything.
against
But
Scotty.
apparently,
Trained
the
with
guy
some
that
It
he-
is the last hand, I believe.
really interesting,
Or
guy
it's
who
the
said that
penultimate
also,
hand.
like fighters say that
I mean, it
if
does
you
look
know
like
the
it's
range,
begging for a call, but on the other hand, it looks like
real
it's kind of a
fight,
bet
it's still something completely
to
different.
get his
So
opponent to
you
fold a
basically
queen so he
the same
doesn't have to chop it. I mean, if it doesn't come a king on the river,
Yeah, very interesting. I found it somewhat very interesting.
Could be a
Well,
different
he
scenario,
afterwards
but
said apparently some
surely he's not
unlikely
going to
people
fold
went
this.
big.
Yeah, Terrence Chen.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
making
And then he said
That's gonna
that
be
Olivier
interesting.
stated like, he said like, do you continue, like, do you want to keep fighting? And he said that it was like kind of painful to like beat JC up that way. It hurt
Come on,
him.
if the guy's like fucking on the ground beyond you, like the eyes swollen, like shit everywhere is like blood, and you gotta keep going. Like,
I think he did
he said call.
really going. When you see the scenes where he's
he
on the
did.
ground,
He's folded.
he wasn't going like that.
Then
Like,
100%
you see
Jonas
the
must be
MMA,
quitting the
he was
game.
like,
no, but he
If
was
he's folded
also
here,
totally
it's because he just
gassed
doesn't
out.
want to give away 3.5k.
Even
And when the game breaks, he's not going to carry on. And quite rightly so. If he's 30 grand up, why does he want to carry on?
and you had
He came to play the stream, he's won 30 grand. Fair play to you, sir, if you do stand up.
Nitbeck was right.
Nidbag made a
If you
brilliant
do carry
call.
on.
He was thinking about pushing me all in, and then he thought this fucker is going to call me.
That's the thing with the Nitbeck. Sometimes they make good folds.
No, he made a great because he can't call. He knows he has to push. And I knew he had to push.
Scotty
so I tried
in
to
the
bet
last
small
half an
enough that he
hour.
could still
The
push.
9 came on the river, right?
No,
That's
Terror.
all from that psychological fact that he said, I would have lost it all with kings no matter what had
Slow,
happened
so
up
he
to
hit
that
the
point.
King on the river, and he still,
So he
that's
didn't
a
let the
great
kings
fold.
v aces bother
That's
him.
maybe the best fold I've ever seen.
Stayed focused, got it in with rubbish, got there, got paid.
JC's cardio was much better. Like Olivier was
Well, Tomovic,
pretty gassed out after the second round already. Like he was like
he's on the button, capable to squeeze.
he was not like
300 call.
like JC was not just not.
He's just called. This could be a little family affair.
Okay, last hand. And he quads here.
Yeah, it was totally
And full
like
pair.
his strategy was
Against me, of course, because I had never
I
won
had
that.
no idea what to make.
and he had a
I was
problem
just-
with the reach.
Everybody else.
I was just like,
I need
so,
4 balls.
like, it was kind
And a
of
king.
it was just like,
Well, our man
it was kind of like crazy to see like how good Olivier,
No,
like,
it's not the best.
Daniel, who's not run good today,
this looked like a beat.
it gets worse for him on the last hand of the night.
Kind of GQ.
What is possible?
Yeah, I mean he was huge. Yeah, like his chest.
Tomovic,
Just floating. Like what the fuck?
That's what I was.
can't see why I'd want to raise this on a dry board.
Like
He can't raise it all in.
It was bench press. He was.
We have 6, 7.
yeah.
If his opponent's got a king, he's going to bet the turn.
Have the goal.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, but I think
Yeah,
that's his
I like
background
that
too,
call.
Like, he was in good shape when he made the bet. Like he was like just in bodybuilding, chest betting in good shape and very strong.
I found it interesting that he said he preferred to go
Fairly
the
safe-ish
round
card.
post about saying why he did this fight.
I
And
read
he said
it.
you read it.
Pretty sure he's going to fire here like
I was like,
15, 1600.
stage of life where he wants
He's
to
got any
know
odd white
what
chips.
You check
choosing
turn.
to say like I'm gonna beat up someone.
Yeah, 1600.
And prove to myself I can do it.
Yeah, that was
And he's got
the thing that I didn't
8,
understand.
just under 9k.
So what kind of person
This
would beat this
could
fight?
be a raise.
I mean, his point was
Well,
discipline.
he just called. And I'm pretty sure the river is going to go check, bet, call. Backdoor club's got there.
Prove that he can be disciplined, but that's the point.
Won't be worried about too much else. Maybe 7-8. He's going to check. Tomovic is going to bet, I don't know, half his stack maybe.
Which I think is actually
4k, 4.5k.
That is not really the right way because it's
If
basically
Leon was
just-
playing, he loves to win the last hand of the night.
Basically, he's not changing anything. He's not developing discipline because it's about money. Like it would be really developing discipline if this wasn't like a bet.
Wow, he just
But
checked.
it's essentially just the same like poker.
I'm surprised he checked there. Daniel's the kind of player, if he's got a hand, it's not like it was a draw-heavy board and
When you have the next
he's
thing,
hoping his
like,
opponent's going to bluff.
whatever it is.
If he had made a decent hand, he would have value bet the river.
Whatever project.
I might have stuck a little bit in. There we have the screen.
Are you taking these up for us?
No discipline
The
at all.
final winners and losers.
Okay, I just need to
And
go
I
to the
think that's a
rules.
very good point.
Button is here, yeah?
Same seats, same everything.
Button.
Okay, there, guys. So that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m., 50-100 PLO. As you can see, Aleks Tomovic, he lost just over 20,000. Jonas, the big winner, just under 45k. Scott Hanna made a bit of a comeback, but he's still down just under 30k. Besim lost 20,000. Tobias held his own, about 3k up. I think Dan lost, I think that says 30.